Hello?
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 Hello? I'm not hearing the sound. Do I have sound? Hello? Okay, I can hear it a little bit. Check it out. Here we go. It's late, and it's me. I promised I would do a live video tonight, and I'm going to. Welcome. As I mentioned, it's the week of Comic Con. Midland Mall Comic Con is coming. Um, Here we go. Friday, and sorry, Saturday and Sunday. Um, and I've got some new stuff coming up, and I made some new papers, sketch papers, specifically for commissions at the show, and I wanted to show that off right now. And by popular demand, it was suggested that I do a sketch of Spider Gwen, because I've done a bunch of Spider Mans and Spider stuff. And so I'm going to go ahead and do one of those, and then I will have this exact drawing that you can see live here available at the show. Now, I haven't drawn a lot of Spider-Gwen. In fact, I've only done her once in my entire life. But that's okay, because I like to stretch and do some new things. I want to show you a few of the prints that are going to be available. Oh, that's not one, though. That's a drawing I did for the show, but I don't have that print available at the show. I've got this happy guy, not her. This guy will be available at the show. I've got Mando. I've got dragons. I've got 11 by 17 of Hulk versus the Daleks. That's one of my favorites. This guy I got a bunch of. That guy. So, looking forward to the show this weekend. There's going to be a ton of great artists there and vendors and activities for kids. Admission is free, so come on in. Stop by the show, look at all the great stuff. Support the vendors and buy some stuff if you want to, if you can. But it's just it's the kind of thing that's open to everybody. It's not necessarily come and look around, have a great time. I'm going to be there both days, and that's see, look at it, see it right there. Saturday, March 5th, 10 a.m. to 6. Sunday, March 6th, noon to 5. Different mall hours on Sundays usually. But it's open throughout the entire mall, sponsored by Fett's Toy Depot and featuring a whole slew of people that I can't name, but I can tell you Ken's Comics will be there in full force. I'm going to have copies of all the books I have, and new art, and live art, and come get a selfie with me and my smiling face. So okay. Nope. What I want to do is that okay? Gosh, maybe it's too late for me. Should have got some sleep today. Really been busy preparing for the convention stuff though. So what I'd like to do is do a little Spider Gwen. So let's start with whenever I draw any spider character. So I'm doing this on the thick cardstock that I always like to sketch on. And I printed out the Midland Mall Comic Con name. It's got Ken's Comics logo. So when you buy one of these, it's going to have my name and the Comic Con. I always do one for whatever event I'm doing. So if it's Free Comic Book Day, it'll be say Free Comic Book Day. And then I've got a link over here that currently isn't active. So, I'm cheating by showing this to you, but it's not live yet and it won't be live until the show. It's going to be, if you come to the show, uh, it'll be active the day of the show. And this kenscomics.net, that's my website, and the backslash MMCC Midland Mall Comic Con. That is going to have a link to a digital download of all of the promotional art that I've done for the show so far. So come on down, check it out. I really, really like it. The work I've been doing for it is a lot of fun. Big thanks to Paul from Fred's Toys. So here we go, back to work. Anytime I do a Spider-Man, I start with the head. Now this is Spider-Gwen, but it's gonna start with not too different. I imagine though that she is gonna have thinner features, higher cheekbones and stuff. So I'm gonna trim this down a little bit so it doesn't look quite like the Spider-Man we know and love. Now, my experience with Spider-Gwen almost completely starts and ends with the movie Into the Spider-Verse. Sorry, guys, I don't read a lot of Spider-Man comics unless the Hulk's in them. Specifically, because I'm a Hulk guy, and there's only so many comics I can buy in a month. But I like and respect Spider-Gwen for what it is, and she's a fun and relatively new character. Oh, she's been around a while now, but she's not one of the characters that I grew up with, in the Spider-Man lexicon. So let's try and do this. Because she's got this kind of telltale hood thing going on that it's very deliberate, and I like for it to cover her face a little bit, but not entirely, because you still want to, I think, see the spider eyes. Now, Gwen's gonna have, so she's got a female form. We're gonna make her now. And again, I'll try to explain this as I go. Whenever I draw a figure, I start with the head, and then I work my way mentally through it, drawing the spine, shoulders. Like I'm thinking about the skeleton. So is she gonna be hunched over? I think yes. So her spine would kind of go like so, down to a pelvis, and then legs out. And so in my head, I'm picturing first to get her pose right, and picturing the skeleton, picturing the bones and stuff. So from neck to clavicle to shoulders, and then out to arms and legs. This, I think, because she's a spider character, do a swippy web slinging thing here. We'll get the perspective a little better on that as I go, but I want to try to draw in the hand coming right at the camera. I say camera because, hey, in this case, I actually do have a camera right here. See, that wasn't me flipping the finger. Now, normally I do this in a blue, with a blue line pencil, so that I can ink right on it. But this particular drawing is going to be for a sketch that I'll sell at the show. And so it's not going to be inked. It's never going to be inked because it's intentionally for just the drawing, or for just to sell as an original piece, original drawing. So I don't need for it to be in blue line. So I am going to clean the pencil lines up a little bit as I go. Now, being a lady fingers, female fingers are a little more slender typically than men's. So I'm going to trim those up a little bit. I don't think with gloves on you'd really see nails, although if this were um, female drawing without gloves, I'd probably put fingernails on there just to help make sure you know that she's a girl. The muscle structure on female superheroes tends to be leaner and different. You can't make them as bulky as you would a normal, not normal, but a male superhero. Even if in real life, character might be just that bulky, like a superhero uh, bodybuilder type might be able to be drawn the same as a male, but we're trying kind of creating an illusion. And sometimes you play with the conventions so that people get the point. Now, of course, she's got a skin tight outfit on, and that's going to mean, drawing stuff like breasts and whatnot. And I'm not usually the guy that draws overly sexual or provocative female characters. So I'm going to walk a fine line here between making her, um, you know, fit and slim, not too busty. That's just not how my style works. Nothing against those that do. And her costume sort of accentuates this right here because the shape of her um, the colors, the black on the front, for example, go up here almost as if she's wearing kind of a suit or something. If the black were the only thing on here, it would be like a bathing suit. But she's actually got a white leotard on. It's full body tight costume, and then got some other spidery things going on here and here. And so it's not like, oh no, we're not seeing like actual cleavage or anything. So I really love her costume because it's a full body costume. And again, I think more since I've had a daughter, I'm less into adoration of the skimpy superheroes. Just feel like this is cool, fun, and sets a better example. But there's a time and place for everything, so I'm not going to judge either. All right, enough of that. These little areas here come in for webbing. So this is where she gets some of her spider webbing. And in a colored costume, these parts would be red. On the inside of her hoodie too. I'm sorry, I'm spacing out a little bit as I'm trying to draw. That's right. Has got webbing inside it, so she's got almost a negative space thing going on. So I'm gonna give her longer legs. I like to go with a little bit of a knee there. The other thing, Gwen's costume, I should have done the back view, honestly. Gwen has a cool spider on the back, and I find that to be the more interesting design element to draw because really when I'm drawing in front of her, a lot of this is either white, is plain white or plain black. So like her leg here is going to be all black. So you get to her foot, she's got kind of a boot or a shoe tip thing here. That's all right. Okay, so we're at about 15 minutes here. Sorry, guys. I'm checking back in with my computer to make sure I'm not going too wild on the time. So let's see. Still in my head, picturing the spine, legs out to the knee and down, out to the knee, and then where's the rest of her leg going to go? It's going to be, I think, folded under. Thank you, Gwen. Still want to make sure I give her really slim ankles. So I'm already seeing that I've got too much bulky musculature here. It almost looks like it's squashed in Play-Doh-y. So in my head, I'm trying to figure out where her other arm should go. As you're looking at this weird half drawing of mine, you're probably thinking, what the hell, Ken? Where are you going with this? I want to do darker areas where this is all black. But I can't just let it all be black. So I'm also stalling because I'm not sure where the rest of that arm is going to go. Is it? I think she's got her hand resting on her leg on her side, maybe. Let's see if that works. Yep, I think that's where it's going to go, guys. All right, that looks terrible. I'll clean that up in a second. Going to her shoulder, and then a bicep onto, this will be her elbow, and then her arm, which is going to lead to her hand resting on her leg. Now, that whole thing is white. This whole arm is white. I'm going to do a little bit of that webbing though here, just because I think it's going to look right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not talking as much tonight as I normally would. Concentrating a little harder on Gwen here because she's not a character that I've done very often. So I want to, I'm trying to get her right. B, I keep stopping to check my reference on the computer screen because I'm making sure that I totally botched the costume. And now that as I'm looking at this, these hands are definitely wrong. Holy crap. Okay, that's cool. So let's see, Gwen. Sometimes really what I should do is draw the shape of the entire hand before I draw a finger at a time. Because when I draw just finger at a time, often I mess up like I'm seeing right now, looking at it, this finger, just a bit too long. Speaking of Spider-Verse, I know they're working on the new movie, and I thought Spider-Verse was brilliant. All right, this is going to work for me. I like the way this hand's coming out. Leads me to the kneecap, and then down. And it's going to give her, I'm going to give her that webbing coming out, though. Giving her the typical spaghetti webbing, just because that's my favorite to draw. I keep wanting to draw Spider-Man's webbing on her costume, and I forget that it's not that. She's not Spidey. She's Gwen. I've seen a bunch of variations of Spider-Gwen online. They even have some like Venom and Carnage, Carnage eyes? No, Venom and Carnage versions. And there's a bunch of stuff I guess you could do to make it fun. So this isn't going to be a totally perfect rendered drawing because that would take, another 45 minutes or so. So what I'm looking to do with this one is just show you an example of what I can throw together for the show. So if you buy one of these, for example, this is a 11 by 17 at the convention. It might not take me quite this long because I'm typically not going to do a character that I'm not familiar with. I just felt like I had so many people ask me about doing Spider Gwen that I wanted to tackle one of her on my next live video, and this is it. So I'm gonna do some extra shading on this piece so that you can tell that this part is supposed to be black without making it 100% black. When you make something all black in a drawing, you lose definition, and then kind of ruins the illusion. You can't see any shadows or shading. Now the white parts of this, I'm going to leave pretty much white, and that's for contrast, so that you can tell that it's not at all the same as, say, for example, what I'm doing here, which is shading the part that's supposed to be black. Shade under here darker. One thing I love about pencil drawings, you can just, this gray, you can go darker, lighter, push harder, go over it more times, and whatever. And there's so much potential and so much variety. Okay, guys, for a quick drawing, this has already taken me 20 minutes, so I want you to understand that this is where I'm going. This is about the best it's going to do. I'll throw a little bit of a background in here, though, because I think Gwen would be somewhere. Let's go with high atop of a rooftop or something. Like I said, I couldn't be more excited about the convention coming up. Midland Mall Comic Con looks like it's going to be a great time. We've got cosplayers. We've got crafts, jewelry, posters, T-shirts, artists of all kinds. People like me, people not like me, painters, sculptors. I believe there's a blank train of thought again. All right, guys. I'm just trying to throw this together. For me, my rooftops often have a lot of like rocks and pebbles on them, so I'm going with that. There's this. There's that. I'm putting this on here so that you know this is Midland Mall Comic Con special for the show. Spider Gwen done in about 20 minutes. Rough sketch by Ken. And I'm going to sign it so you know it's done. I'm going to erase this because it doesn't belong there. Shoot me some requests, guys, because I'm going to do a couple more of these ahead of time. And if you have an idea that you'd like to get and you know you'd like to come to the show, I am selling this size drawing for $20, $10 for a half sheet size. Comes to about 5.5 by 8 for the half one. So I can fit 2 to a page. Just nice and easy for me to print those out. This one is 8.5 by 11. Stop by the Midland Mall Comic Con this weekend. Visit Fett's Toy Depot. Come see me. Ken's Comics. Spider Gwen. Thank you much, guys. Have a great night. And do something good for somebody.